Welcome back, everybody. So today I want to discuss something that's kind of near and dear to my heart, and that is financial titling. Now, what do I mean by financial titling? If you've spent any time Googling or researching a financial professional you want to work with, you might have noticed that we tend to hold ourselves out using a myriad of different titles. And these can be things from financial advisor, financial planner, investment consultant, wealth advisor. I mean, you can see a ton of things that we call ourselves. Now, the one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that it's the Wild West when it comes to what financial professionals can call themselves. And a lot of people don't really realize, but most financial titles are nothing but marketing. There's no real rule or regulation that prohibits the use of certain titles depending on what skill set you might have. You'll have people out there calling themselves a financial advisor that actually aren't licensed to advise on investments. And you'll have people out there who have all the necessary licenses to call themselves a financial advisor that call themselves something else. For instance, myself, I call myself a financial planner because I just find that to be clean and simple. However, there are so many titles out there that it can cause people to just pull their hair out in confusion and not understanding the difference between the different titles. So today I want to help you cut through the BS if you're deciding that there's a financial professional that you're thinking of working with, and help you decide, is this someone I do want to work with? Or is this somebody that may be trying to sell me something or doesn't have necessarily my best interest at heart as the client? Well, there's a few different ways to do it. First, you just want to completely disregard what they call themselves in their title. They call themselves a financial advisor, a financial planner, a certified super duper quadruple professional in finance. It's really irrelevant. The things you want to focus on is, first, I think you want to focus on their designations. So what professional designations have they earned? And the thing to keep in mind here is that these tend to be the letters after somebody's name. But not all of these designations are created equal. Some of them have very substantial education and experience and examination requirements that you have to go through in order to be able to call yourselves or use these certifications. And some are maybe a few hours on an online course and take a 10-minute quiz, and then that's it. And then they can call themselves whatever that designation is. So you want to kind of look at some of these designations first to figure it out. So a few designations I think you want to take a look at and kind of are held at a higher standard than most are really three. And that's the CFP, the CPA, and the CFA. Now, as you can see there, those actually mean something. Now, all three of these have a substantial education and experience and exam requirement, and then substantial ongoing continuing education to maintain the certification, along with ethical standards you need to withhold, and also basic practice standards that you need to withhold in order to keep those certifications. But there's also some that are a lot less. Like one I've seen out there a lot that really doesn't seem to be much, but I think kind of fools people a little bit, is something called a certified financial fiduciary. Now, it sounds cool and it sounds sexy, and you think, ooh, you're a fiduciary, but it's really just kind of made up. So once you've kind of searched and looked at people with the right certifications, then you want to go set up some meetings with those people and then kind of ask them a few questions. Now, you can ask them as many questions or as few questions as you want. And there's a document out there put out by the SEC about cutting through financial titling misconceptions that really gives you a good list of questions to ask. And I'll link that in the description below. But I think that there are a few questions you can ask that kind of encompass a lot of those together. And then you can judge based off the response that they give you if this is somebody that you want to work with. Now, the first question you want to ask, and in my mind, really the least important, but it's kind of the lowest barrier to entry that you should have, is ask them, are you a fiduciary? Now, this is important because if they're a fiduciary, they are ethically and legally bound to put your interests as the client ahead of their interests, either as a business owner or as a person earning money in a profession. But I say this is the least important because, in my opinion, the word fiduciary has become kind of a buzzword as well. A lot of people try to go out and chase the status of being a fiduciary on one hand, but one thing they might not tell you is they are able to sell products as well as having a fiduciary obligation to you. And when they are in the product selling mode, you might not realize they can take off their fiduciary hat and put on the product sales hat, and you would be none the wiser. You would think then if they are recommending that you buy this product or do this strategy that they earn a commission on, that it is in your best interest because sometimes they're a fiduciary. Keep in mind, not always is somebody a fiduciary. So that's why it kind of leads into the next couple of questions. The next thing you want to ask is, what is your process? And if the person you're talking to can't articulate a clear, concise process, basically what is the thought process they go through, what is the step actions that they go through when they are coming up with recommendations that they are making to you, if they can't articulate that, then that's a red flag as well, that they might just be listening and asking questions, trying to drive you toward a predetermined solution that is really just a product sale and not really comprehensive advice. And finally, you want to ask them, how are you compensated? There's really 3 types of compensation models out there. There's commission, which is what I talked about before, and that is they get compensated on the sale of a product to you. And that can be something like life insurance, an annuity, or even a financial product like a mutual fund. On one other hand, you have fee only, which is they are only compensated directly by their clients in the form of a fee that they pay. And they don't accept any form of commission or money from selling a product or anything like that. That's a fee only person. And then you've got people in the middle, and they can accept a fee for the advice that they give, but they can also get a commission on the back end for the sale of a product. And somebody like that is called fee-based. So you want to identify what this potential financial advisor is, because then you can make an informed decision on, are they going to give me the most objective advice possible, or are they going to be swayed by a high commission payout if I buy X product from them? Now, also beware, if somebody claims that you don't pay anything to use their services, that is a huge red flag, because we all know there is no such thing as free lunch. So if they are saying you're not paying them anywhere, they're getting paid by something to render the service to you that they're rendering. So it's likely coming from the commission from the product sale that they are recommending to you. And that usually comes from folks that sell life insurance or annuities or some combination of the two. Now, if the potential advisor you're talking to is not transparent about any question that you ask them, that to me is the biggest red flag of all. And in general, you should probably look at walking away from that person and not working with them. Even if you have some sort of pre-existing relationship, being somebody's friend or family is not a good enough reason to make a poor financial decision when it comes to working with a financial advisor. So I hope this has helped clear a few things up for you. And if you're looking to work with a financial advisor, you are now armed with a few questions to ask and some more information so that you can make a good informed decision to work with the person who is the best fit for you.